All right, we'll go ahead and let's go ahead into the course in D2L. Perfect. And we're going to first add the red shelf tool. So to do that, we're going to go under the content tab at the top. Yep, content. Great. And we're going to create a module. You can name this module whatever you like, but this will be where your red shelf tool is housed. Wonderful. Then once the module is created, we'll go to the existing activities tab. And we're going to go to external learning tools. Great. And from here, we are going to go to red shelf. Right, and I believe it's that the 1.1. Perfect. Once the tool is added, we're going to click on the blue link. First, we're going to choose a course. Okay, and launch. Great. And then we should see our materials. Does this look like the correct materials?
Yes, My Lab Math with Pearson eText for Statistics, 7th
Perfect.
edition.
Great. We'll click on it and we'll click Access Courseware. Sometimes when you click on that Access Courseware, you'll be asked to link your Pearson account, but it looks like your account's already been paired with D2L, so we're skipping that step. From here, you can either choose to select and create like a brand new course from scratch, which will be that select button, or if you have a course that you're wanting to copy, there's a place down at the bottom where you can put your the ID, the course ID from the instructor that you'll be copying it from. And this can include your own course if you have a course that you're wanting to copy. Great. All right. So from here, we'll name our course essentially. So anytime that you're pairing with D2L, we're going to keep it as a student use course so students can enroll. And then, yep, we're going to give it a course name. My suggestion is always giving it the course initials and numbers, the course number. Section is also helpful, as well as the term that you'll be teaching it, because these will be on your Pearson account. So it'll just be easier to see, oh, this is the fall course or this is the spring course as you create different courses term over term. Perfect. A description.
Don't forget there are a number of characters left, so don't make it too long.
Yes. All right. So description, you can enter description or not. That's up to you. You don't have to have one. Perfect. And then course dates for the start date. This will be the date that you first want students to enter into the course. So whatever date you choose, students will have access to the courseware at this time. So if you want that to be a few days before the actual start date for students to go ahead and get registered, that's up to you. Could actually be the start date of the course. The end date, my recommendation is always to choose about a week or so after the actual end date of the course. And this just allows students to still have access to the courseware, if there's any extenuating circumstances. These dates can be pushed back if something pops up. They can be edited once the course has started, but this is so you don't have to go ahead and do that if anything does pop up. Great. And then that last little box there, instructors can copy this course. So any course that you create will be in your own Pearson account, and you should be able to copy that course at any time, whether this box is checked or not. However, this is really just for other instructors to be able to copy the course. And let me just clarify that no instructor out there can search for a course and randomly copy it. You would have to provide them with the course ID for them to be able to do so. So again, you would know who is copying your course, because you would be essentially granting them access as long as they had that course ID. All right, and then so once you have that all entered, you can create course. Great. It does only take maybe about a minute or so, honestly, for these courses to create. But you'll get an email pop up when that's done. And so we'll check just to make sure that the link is working. So we're going to exit out of this Pearson tab, and we're going to go back into D2L and into that content area where we created that module, and we added that red shelf link. So you can click on that content tab. Perfect. And then Michael, do you know if you got that email yet?
Yeah, it looks like I did.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, it really only takes a short amount of time. So I used to say 5 minutes, but I'm finding that it's much shorter than that now. All right, so let's pop back into D2L, and we're gonna just check to make sure that the course link is working. So we're gonna click back on that red shelf course materials link. Great. Let's just, okay, yeah. Perfect. Great. We're going to click back on the materials and access courseware button. And we should see a new screen this time because everything is linked. Great. So this is like the instructor landing page. To get into the course, you just click on that yellow Open My Lab and Mastering button. You have some other direct links into specific places into the course, but that yellow button will always take you to the home page.
Lauren, can I interrupt for a minute here?
Of course, yes.
Can you just please introduce yourself? Are you somebody who works with Oswego, or are you working with Pearson? I'm afraid I haven't met you.
Oh, my apologies. Yes. I am a loyalty rep with Pearson, and I have a background in integrations in
Okay,
courseware.
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you didn't say that at the beginning, and I was wondering. Also, I have not used any Pearson material for a very long time.
Okay.
So almost all of what you said just kind of skipped right past me.
Okay.
So,
I believe that my apologies. I believe that the purpose of this was to create a video for instructors to just kind of help them walk through the course setup. And we can
right. But
schedule a
since,
time to meet to discuss, in addition, any questions that you have. I'd be happy to do that.
okay, so basically I joined the session just so that I could actually set up my Pearson account for the course that I'm teaching this fall right now.
Yes,
So I understand that you're setting up a video, but it would help me if you just kind of went over it and gave me a little bit of time to set this up in my own Brightspace account.
of course. Yep, we can pause and if you wanted to, I don't know if you have the ability to share your screen. If you have any questions, I can walk you through anything that you're seeing.
Sure. I mean, right now I'm just on my Brightspace and I just about set up the module
Okay,
here. Okay, I
Should we
realize.
stop the recording here and share this, or would it be useful to continue recording?
it's up to you, whatever you want for your recording.
Because I
John,
think
did you?
gone through all the steps of setting up the one course, right?
Right.
Correct.
Okay, so we'll stop the recording then, and we'll let the session continue.
Yeah, so we have the course linked with D2L. The link is working. So now we're going to look at setting up assignments, grade sync, and then deep linking those assignments into D2L. So let's first start in the course, the Pearson course, and we will need some assignments with some due dates in order to grade sync and deep link. Great. So we're going to go to the assignment manager. There are some pre-built assignments in here, and then you can always create your own. So we're going to go to create assignment.
I do try to avoid using certain characters. I try to keep it to just periods as opposed to slashes, number symbols, and so forth. Sometimes the links sometimes the different D2L pages, like the grade book or the links, don't always like some of these special characters. So I'll just call this homework number 1 test
Perfect.
case.
All right, we'll give that homework a name and click next. Excuse me. Yep, choose a chapter you're wanting to pull questions from. Questions pull up on the left box. You can add the questions here. You can scroll over the questions to see what they might look like, or even click on them to get a better view.
Yeah, so you can add them from here. You can also go immediately to other questions with these buttons
Absolutely.
here.
Perfect. We have some questions. So now we're going to give it an availability date. And that would just be the day that the first day that students have access to the assignment to start working on it. And then we'd give it a due date.
I'll leave it as today. I'll leave the availability date as today's date, just so we can see it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Perfect. We have a due date of September 2nd. And then there's any other settings that you want for the assignment are all located here too.
And in my experience, when it comes to the learning aids, these are pretty much all defaulted for the homework. When it comes to quizzes online, do some of these, they're usually not checked off. Do we have to request if there's a certain kind of learning aid that is not immediately available here?
As far as quizzes,
Yeah.
I believe there'll be a lot less learning aids available for a quiz. I'm not, I personally don't know which ones wouldn't be available. But I believe the For any assignment type for homework, you can have like a preset. So all my homeworks include these learning aids, and that would be like in the assignment settings. And then for all quizzes, you could have certain learning aids as well, in which you could change the default mode for that assignment type.
Right. Okay.
And we'll click Save and Assign. Great. And then that homework that we just created is down at the bottom. If you wanted to look at what learning aids are available for quizzes, we could take a quick look at that as well. We would just go to, yep, Great Quiz. And where it says like gradebook category and there's a drop-down menu, like that is the assignment type where you could have a specific settings beyond even the learning aids. And if you have it set for that, any settings you have set for that assignment type would automatically go to any assignment that you create that is categorized as that type.
I'm sorry, was that on the previous page? I kind of clicked through a little.
Oh, no, yeah, it's okay. So there was just, we clicked create quiz, and then you could see that the category was quiz. If you scroll to the top, that gradebook category, and then you could change the assignment type if you wanted to, where it says quiz and there's a drop down arrow. So if you could have specific default settings for any like gradebook category, so that includes learning aids, or for instance, you could default your homework to allow for multiple attempts or past due date. So all of that is customizable per category.
Right.
So we're trying to explain that. Great. And so then we added some questions. Perfect. All right.
Create a random pool for each of those.
Perfect. And then when you have your questions, you click next, and this is where you get to our settings. Yep. Great.
Now, when it comes to students expected to complete quizzes in one session, which I do prefer for online quizzes, I did have a question. If attempts are interrupted, students may re-access and complete on their own. When an attempt is interrupted, will students have access to other material on Pearson until they finish the quiz, or are they kind of locked out of everything until they can finish the quiz on their own?
I'm not sure about that. I believe it would be that they would have access to Pearson essentially if they are interrupted. And I think that's why the other option is there, that the instructor has to enable it, just to maybe ensure that students are ready to go and on what they need to be. But I can double check on that for you.
All right. And here are the instructor tips. Okay.
Perfect. So yep, those are the learning aids that are showing available and for the quiz.
All right, so we've created a homework and we've created a quiz.
Perfect. Great. So we can go to our grade sync section. So we can exit out of this Pearson tab. and it'll take you back to this instructor landing page. So from here, in order to grade sync, we'll want to go to that grade sync tab right there in the middle of the page. Great. And then you have the option of doing an automatic grade sync or not. So that if you scroll up just a little bit further, there's the option to auto grade sync. If you have it turned on, that means any assignment that's checked on the bottom here will automatically grade sync. You shouldn't have to come back to this page and push grades through to sync. If you keep it off, then yes, you'll have to come here and automatically push the grades through, even if they're checked below, by clicking that blue Sync Grades Now button. It's really an instructor preference, but you can have it on or off. So once it's turned on or off, but once you have that, you just choose the assignment specifically that you want to push to D2L. And then you click the Sync Grades Now. And you can see on the right that they should now be synced. So this means that they should create a column in your D12 gradebook. Great. So let's go back to D2L. I'm gonna go back to that content tab and kind of just refresh. Perfect. And if we wanted to go ahead and check the gradebook just to make sure that they're pushing over, we can check just that we have the gradebook columns. Perfect. We have the quiz 1 test and the homework 1 test. So they are pushing through. So great. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the deep links for those 2 assignments. So this is just a link directly to those assignments in Pearson. So essentially students would just bypass the Pearson homepage and they wouldn't have to navigate around Pearson to complete the assignments. So we'll go to that content tab, and this part is more of like an organizational preference too. I believe Michael, last time we spoke, he likes to have a whole nother module where his assignments live, those links live. So he creates a homework links module. You could put it in that same module if you prefer. Again, it's really just a organizational, or you could even have, I've seen some professors where they have module per chapter or section. So wherever you want those to live, you would just create a module for that. All right, so now that we have that module created, we actually do have to go and add the Pearson Links tool. So this is going to be under Course Admin. Perfect. Down there at the bottom. Great. Once we're in Course Admin, we are going to go to under Site Resources. There should be a Course Builder button. Perfect. I'm going to click on that. From here, under that Add Content section on the left, we are going to look for the Pearson Deep Link Remote plugin. Perfect. And it just has the Pearson icon. And this is why it's important to have that module where you want the links to go already. So you're going to check the location of where you want the links. So he's going to click homework links. So that's where he wants them. And now you should get a whole list of links, deep links into Pearson. This includes such things as like the calendar or the gradebook. These are all links that you can have for your students directly. Go right to that section of MyLab, including the e-text as well. So what you'll do is you'll just, any links that you want, you will click the checkbox next to that link, and it will create the link for you. So we're going to do that homework 1 test, and I think we need the quiz too. Perfect. And you click add to course. great. And go back to content. Perfect. He's in that homeworks links now, and we have that homework 1 test case. So let's make sure that it's working. So Michael, you click that homework 1 test case. Perfect. We have that open Pearson. Great. And so now it opens right up into the homework for the students to work on.
And this includes links to the textbook, to videos and so forth, all the other
Yep.
learning aids,
Oh.
correct?
Correct. Yep. Yep. So students are working on whatever learning aids you had chosen. They'll have access to those, including the textbooks that right here. They're in the homework, and they need help. They can open up the textbook.
The textbook will always take them to the section that pertains to the questions, the section that the question came from, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed. And so if a student needs to get to a different section, they need to click on a question that came from that section, or they have to get to the textbook and directly on the Pearson website itself. So,
Okay. And there we have video.
mhm. Yeah, I believe if I just close this. Yeah, the homework question itself is in a different tab, and so is the textbook. So
Mhm.
there we go. Mhm. And if the student needs more help with Stat Crunch, though I don't think we've been using a whole lot of Stat Crunch and statistics these days. I think these days we've been using Minitab, but that link should work here as well. Yep. All right. So yeah, this looks good.
All right, great. And then Michael's, just because we ran into this issue last time we deep linked, I just want to double check your Pearson link, your the one that we created initially back in D2L.
See.
Um,
Yes, there it is.
So it worked initially, then we added the deep link's working, but when we went back to try to get back into Pearson, that's where we ran into that issue. So I just want to see if it works this time or not, and if not, we know to clear cache and cookies and it should work again. Oh, nope, worked this time. Great, perfect. So non-issue this time. Great. All right.
And the textbook and all of its contents can be found over here too.
That's correct.
So whereas the homework had only one chapter or one section, this one you can browse any section you want.
Yep, absolutely.
And I think I mentioned this last time, but if you needed to copy another section of this course or any other course, you can find the course ID that they ask you for that you're not supposed to share with your students, but the course ID can be
Yes.
found in this or not
Yeah.
in the back to my courses
Yep.
link,
Back to
correct?
my courses. Yep. And this will take you to just your Pearson homepage, where all your courses or the course boxes live. And just under the name of the course, you have the course dates, and then it should be your last name and then a 5-digit number, and that is the course ID. And you're correct. Your students don't need that because your course is linked to D2L. You can see that little chain link at the corner. And so since it's paired with D2L, the students will have to enter the course via D2L, essentially that red shelf tool that you added. But the course ID is helpful if you're wanting to copy your course semester over semester, or if you're copying another instructor's course. So that's what they'll need in order to copy it. Yep. Any other questions or anything else I can help with today?
Are there any particular uh, contact information that students should be prepared to contact if they have a little trouble getting into the Pearson website for the first time? There's the error screens that we've seen before that can be clear with cache and cookies, but just in case those don't work, are there specific phone numbers that we should share with the students to contact either with Pearson or even the school campus technology services to help them with anything that might be causing them problems?
Yes, let me pull that up. I have a student guide that essentially helps them walk through launching their Pearson content. And I think it has that information. So yes, I would first have them start with their on campus, and then we also have a Pearson support website that they can go to, and there's a link in this document that will take them there. And then I can also just provide you with that website also, where they can either chat or call in with somebody.
Hmm.
So what I can do is I can when we I can follow up with this document for students. It's just to access Brightspace through Red Shelf document that you can provide to all students. And then I can also give you that website.
Right.
Maybe I'll put it in the chat. There's, and then I'll provide the document that is shareable.
Would it be okay if I put this address on the description
Yeah.
page during the recording right now, or is this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I believe this will be for instructors. That one is for instructors. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my own. I thought if something popped up on yours, it popped up on mine. My apologies. Okay. Yep, that's the website.
There we go. So this is the website that students can visit if they need support for getting into Pearson for the first time, or if there's technical difficulties or so forth, correct?
Correct. And you can see at the top, there's a space for learners and educators. So for learners, they have these boxes that they can walk through, for instance, registration. That'll maybe provide some simple instructions on maybe anything that they're running into. But if they scroll down all the way to the bottom, oh, my apologies. There is a contact. So if you keep scrolling, there's a contact us, and this is where they go to chat or call in with anybody if they're having issues beyond what they can find already on that page. So they can choose to call or they can choose to chat.
All right. And let's see. So yeah, I usually try to make sure that I put that website link in the description of the Red Shelf Inclusive Access link, just in case the students need anything, because yeah, there can be problems here and there. I've seen students run into error pages that are, different depending on what kind of device they're using, what kind of
Right.
browser they're using, whether they've got pop-up blockers turned off or not, whether they've cleared their cache and cookies. So it can take a little while, or sometimes it's a case-by-case situation. Sometimes it's weeks, months into the semester, and students still can't get in for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's anything extenuating like that, where it's beyond clearing cache and cookies, browser, change of browser, and say students even reached out to support, and it's been maybe a day or so since they've heard back, please let us know. You can let me know, and our the sales rep Kelly know, and we can try and look into it further for you guys. So we shouldn't have anything that's like that outstanding, especially a month into the course where they're still having issues. So feel free to let us know. We can look into it. There might not be anything that we can do as far as fixing it, but we can at least take a look at the ticket and see if we can try to escalate it. So. Yeah, but we certainly don't want students a month into the course and still not having
No,
access.
certainly not. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
Upon first entry, if there are students who, well, I'm not sure with partner integration, so I was about to say, we do have a 14-day free access, but I believe with partner integration, I'm not sure how that works. So.
Yeah, that's actually something else I wanted to ask about too, was that do the Red Shelf Inclusive Access links, this procedure for students getting in for the first time, does it have a time limit that they have to get in? Because last semester I had some students who, 2 months into the semester still hadn't logged in for the first time, and they were met with messages that said, you can't get in now because you've passed the free trial period to get in through Red Shelf Inclusive Access. And I had to override that myself overall.
Yeah, so I know the school has the opt-in, opt-out dates. So I don't know what those would be offhand, but if it's past the opt-in, opt-out period, then that's something that the student would have to go back to the bookstore and say, hey, actually, I do want to opt in to these course materials. I believe they would have to handle that in order to have them gain access to that Red Shelf tool to get in. Also on your side, the course, we can double check what they are, but when you create a course, sometimes there's enrollment dates, and those are typically about 2 weeks after the start date of the course. You can always edit those too, and that would just be directly on your Pearson homepage.
Okay.
We could take a look again with partner integration. I'm not as familiar with all the ins and outs of how that works. So if you wanted to look at it, we could.
Okay.
We just go back to that Pearson where all your course blocks were. Perfect. And under the details tab on the right side, where the little gear button is. Yeah. So scroll down. I'm not seeing enrollment dates. So that's good. So there shouldn't be any enrollment dates on your end where it would hinder students from enrolling. I believe it's just the opt-in, opt-out date through the school. Yep.
Right. So yeah, registration. Oh, no, so these are the registration instructions you'll be sending out to students, is that? Or it looks like this
Yeah,
might be a little bit different.
I have more detailed ones because as you can
Mhm.
see, it can be confusing. The last bullet point under number 2 says Barnes and Noble, Follett Willow, Red Shelf, Vital Source. Like, which one of these do we use? So yes, it's you guys use Red Shelf, but I have one that's more specific to Red Shelf specifically. That might be a little bit more helpful. So this is, but yes, this would work.
Mhm.
But I have one I think that'll be more helpful that you can share out, and I'll email it here in just a moment.
And course details. Yes, this is what we were
Yep,
going through. If I needed to edit
Yep.
something here, I can do so. Correct.
absolutely. Yep, you edit, change the copy, change the course dates, change the name. But anytime you want students to enroll, it must be that student use course. So students won't have the ability to enroll in anything else.
All right.
Perfect. Yep, you can view your roster from here too, and you can see who has it'll under like their name in red if they have temporary access, it'll list that and let them know what dates they have the access to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's all the questions I can think of for now.
Okay. And if anything does pop up, because I'm certainly like that too, where I think of something about an hour later or so, I'm here to help. So reach out to me, email me, and we can always, hop on another Zoom or answer any questions like that too. So I'm here for any of the instructors who do need assistance with the course setup.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you. I'll stop the recording.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.